Hello. Hi, hello, everybody. Good afternoon, Facebook Live. Good afternoon, IG. I think I need a little bit more lighting over here. We're getting you. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, how are you guys doing out there? It's very hot here in sunny California. You guys come on in here today. We're going to have some fun. Get some valid information for all you business people out there. Come on down and get in here. Share this video. Hi, Carla. Hi. Share this video, you guys. Get some friends up in here who is going to need this information, right? So let's get everybody up in here. Come on down. Come on down. So, Carla, how you doing today? Hi, Raquel. How you guys doing? I think I may have a little hard time seeing this over here. Let's see. Hi, Duke. Hi, Dre. It's going to be a little difficult. Let me get some lighting on this side. Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. Hi, Tamika. Hi. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today we're going to have some fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. Hi. Yeah. How you doing? Okay. Hi, Eleanor. Okay, guys. So I'm back today for our Q&A. This is going to be very interesting, very exciting. Okay, we want to have some fun today. So once again, I'm Elaine Proby, CEO of PROBY'S Tax and Accounting here in Los Angeles. And we've been operating a financial tax and accounting business for over 35 years, guys. Say hi, Lee Smith. Hello. Yes. Okay, so you guys get your questions together. Share this video with some friends. Let them know to get on here, get some questions answered, get some very well needed information. So anything you guys need to know, we'll be able to hopefully answer all of it today. Okay. So this segment today is about how you pay yourself from your business. How do you get paid? So okay, and this is a very common question. Of course, we all run and operate small businesses. Some of them are just individual businesses at home. Some of them are incorporated business. Some of them are nonprofit business. So we've got all type of business structure. And my biggest question from everybody is, how do I get paid, right? So you figure you own the business so you can do whatever you want. So we're going to discuss that today. Say hi, how you doing? Yeah, right. So we're going to discuss that today and tell you some things about some ways about how you get paid from your business. Okay. So and real quick, this is probably the only thing we want to talk about because there's so much information and I want to get you guys questions. I know that you have questions out there, so get them together. I want to make sure that we can answer those and so we can have an interaction, a conversation between us. Okay. All right. So let's start off by, I want to talk about the business structure and the most common, of course, when you first start, most people will have an individual business. So most people will just have an individual business when they first start their business. And your main focus at this point in time is getting it off the ground, getting it going, right? Making sure you get some business in-house and, you're able to take care of your expenses, right? But although you may not have enough money to pay yourself initially when you start, you still need to know, once you start making money, you still need to know how you make that happen. And I think this is the key question for most people. How do I pay myself? So I want to start today with the individual business people. So you're not incorporated, you started your business, you run it as a sole proprietor. And so now you, and some businesses start off really, well, and they start making money right off the top. So this is a thing about individual business, guys. Keep in mind, you cannot be on a payroll structure for an individual business. And I will add this to it, the same with the LLC members if you're a member. So both of these operate the same way when it comes to how you pay yourself, right? So if you're an individual business or you're running, say, an LLC, which you're a member, you cannot be on payroll. So you can't put yourself on payroll and you can't get a W-2 and take out the taxes, right? So I want to start with how you get paid from those two type of business structure first. Okay. So, all right, so get your questions together now. This is Elaine Proby here, PROBY'S Tax and Accounting, you guys, and we're going to have some fun today, okay? So let's see. Now, because as a individual business, you don't have to answer to stockholders. You don't have to answer to anybody, right? So monies that comes into business, you can take it out whenever you want. You can take it out however you want, right? And there's two reasons for that. So the first reason is that at the end of the day, whatever your profit is, you got to pay taxes on it. So whether you take the money from the bank, whether you spend it, if you don't, you still got to pay taxes on those profits. So technically speaking, that money belongs to you, right? But for cash flow purposes, this is what you got to look at. You got to, first of all, not pay yourself based on your revenue. So if you get $50,000 in, you don't want to, oh, well, I can take $20,000 out of the business because we just got to check in for $50,000. No. You have to make sure, right, that once your revenue comes in and you pay all of your necessary operating expenses, all of your employees, all of your taxes, your rent, all the overhead expenses, you got to pay these things first, right? You can't take money from the top. You have to pay these things first, and you get whatever is left. Whatever is left, it belongs to you. Now, you can choose to transfer that money, because remember now, as a business, you got a business account, you got a personal account. You can choose to transfer whatever is left into your personal account. But you may not want to transfer, if you have, say, all $10,000, all of it into your personal account, because you want to make sure there's enough money left in your business for cash flow purposes, right? So the best way to do this is for you to determine what your living expenses are and what's the minimum that you need to take for yourself, right? What is the minimum amount of money that I need for me to survive? Because one, if you are not paying your personal bills and you don't have all your finances in order personally, you won't be able to focus and concentrate on growing your business. So you have to make sure that you can take care of those. However, you want to take just enough money to take care of your personal finances. So let's say you need for yourself $3,000 a month for your rent and your personal expenses. That's what you want to take out of the business. And what you should do is you can set this up where you can take it either weekly, or you can take it every 2 weeks, or maybe once a month. You can pull that money if the money is available. So you want to be consistent with it. If you be consistent with it, it's easier for you to manage your cash flow. Right? Easier for you to manage your cash flow. So this is what you want to do. Pay yourself a reasonable amount that you need to live off of and transfer that money into your personal account, and it's easy for you to manage your cash flow. What you don't want to do is run in and out of the bank and just pulling money out here, pulling money out there, using your bank card and pulling out cash, because that's not no way to really run a business and also managing your cash flow. Okay, so anybody have any questions regarding that? Because I know we say it's my business, I can take the money out when I want to and how I want to. Yes, that might be true, but you know, you are in business to make money, so you have to be conscious of all of the different factors that's going to help that happen. Okay, I'm looking on the screen because I want to make sure I don't miss anybody's question if you have them. So anybody have any question in this first part on your personal business, self-employed people? You are going to determine what is your minimum amount that you need for your personal expenses, and then you're going to try to obviously take that money for yourself and transfer it into your personal bank account. And then of course, if there's not any money in the business to allow you to do that, then you know you would have to then make your expenses from your own personal investment. But as a rule of thumb, this is what you want to do, assuming that you obviously is going to be making some money, right? Because that's why we are in business. Carla, what's the first and most important step in starting a business? Let's see. If I want to start an online business, what's the first and most important step? Okay, so Carla, the first and most important step if you wanted to start a business, and then of course you obviously determine what kind of business that is. You know, when you want to start a business, guys, think of something that you're going to be passionate about, something that you're going to put your all into. For any business to be successful, you got to put your time into it, and you want to like it, you want to love it, you want to believe in it. You have to believe in it so you can sell it. So that's the first thing you want to do. And then of course you want to have a business formation. You want to set it up, get your business name, licensing, depending on where you are, the type of licenses, Carla, that's what you want to start with. Start with the name, start with getting it licensed or registered, or get a DBA, whatever is necessary in the city, state, or county that you live in. And then of course, And once you get that going, you get all the necessary documentation, and you get your, you open your bank account. Once you have the proper documentation, you can open a bank account. You want to start there, because you want to start with separating your personal income from your business income. You want to start with that. So that's, I would say that is the first step, Carla. And then from there, of course, you get into, your product or your services, marketing, and, how you're going to put that out there for your customers or clients to find you and spend money with you. So hopefully that answered your question. And so any other questions, you guys? Any other questions? It does not necessarily have to be with how you pay yourself, but anything relating to your business or how you're running it now, just put it on the screen and we'll answer them, okay? All right, so that's it for the personal business and for your LLC, because you cannot be on payroll and you cannot get a W-2 at the end of the year. And then it's not a good idea to be pulling money out on a daily basis. It's not a good idea to do that. Have a structure to where your income comes in, expenses are paid, find out what you need to live off of, take down on a regular basis or monthly, however your cash flow allows. And then, so just keep it structured. So when you make a whole lot of money, you will be in the same structure. You're welcome. All right. You're very welcome, Colin. Okay. All right. So one of the other thing here is, you guys get your questions up there. Now remember, this is a question and answer. Share this information. So people out there, because I think this is one of the biggest issue that a person has when they start a business, is how do they get paid? How you take your money out, and and the tax implications. So I'm going to end with that because it gets a little bit more complex based on your structure of your business. So we'll talk about that towards the end. But right now I wanted to start off with the part that is most common to most people out there, okay? All right, so any questions over here? I want to make sure I'm not missing this stuff. All right, guys, so let's move on to some of the other business structure now. This is the part that most people go wrong with, right? What is the difference between 1099 versus a W-2? Okay, that's a good question. Good question. The difference between a 1099 and a W-2. So a 1099 is the tax form that's given to you if you are an independent contractor. So if you are hired by someone to do a job, a certain task, you're an independent, they will give you a 1099 at the end of the year. The 1099, there are no taxes taken out by the person that's paying you. You are considered a vendor. You have to pay your own taxes. You have to, you're technically operating your own business. You have to carry your own insurance, everything that you have to do separately, because you are owning and operating your own business. They will give you a 1099 at the end of the year showing you how much money they paid you. So, and then you are also free to work for anybody else. So you can have 5, 10, any amount of companies that you work for. They will all give you a 1099. And in that 1099, it shows how much money they paid you for the whole year, and there won't be any taxes taken out of it, meaning you are responsible for your own taxes. Now, when you are an employee, it's a good question. When you're an employee, you get a W-2. A W-2 is the form you get at the end of the year that shows how much money you made, and then it shows all the various taxes that are taken out of your check. And some people know that they make $5,000 a month, let's say, as an example, and they know they're taking home $4,000, but the other $1,000 is broken down into taxes. Some of them are mandatory, like Social Security and state disability and Medicare. Some of those are mandatory, they must come out. And then some of them have to do with whatever state you're in and or federal taxes. So this form W-2 shows you at the end of the year how much money you make, how much taxes are taken out of that money that you made. And then, so when you file your taxes, this information goes on your tax return. So I hope that answers your question. All right, so that's the difference between a 1099 and W-2, guys, and that's a great question. And on that same note, though, if you are, say, an independent contractor, right? You can be independent contractor if you run in a business. Some places they give you a 1099, and some people are also on W-2 elsewhere. So, a person can be a W-2 person for a certain company based on their duties and responsibilities, and then you can also have an independent company. So at the end, you can have both. Yes, thank you, Lynn. You're welcome. So you can have both at the end of the year, depending on what you did that year. All right. Inez, okay, thank you for jumping in. So, okay, guys, so that's what that is. And then on the 1099 note, if you are a sole proprietor, guys, and since you can't be an employee of your sole proprietor company and or your LLC, you can't be a 1099 person on your sole proprietor business either. So you don't get a 1099, you don't get a W-2, you just take money out of the business. You have to pay taxes on everything the business net profit that it makes, and so you don't get a 1099 or a W-2 at the end. You just pay taxes on what's left on your profits. Okay. All right. So can we move on? Any more questions out there regarding that? Love those questions. Good, good. You guys bring them in. You know, hit like and share this video. Get some friends up in here so you guys can share this information and they can use this information as well. Okay. So I want to move on to how you get paid from some of the other business structure, and this one gets a little bit more complicated because, you know, a lot of people wind up forming a corporation, right? They form a corporation. And we talked about the LLC. You can't be on payroll there because you're a member. Now you said, okay, I'm going to form a corporation, you know? And because you form a corporation, now guys, keep in mind what a corporation does. The corporation separates you from your business. So there's two things now. It's you and it is the business, right? So they run completely separate. They have their own duties, responsibility. They pay their own bill. They pay their own taxes, right? It's two separate things. And then you, as an individual, you have your own personal stuff going on. You keep your own personal bank account. How you get paid from your corporation, you must be an employee of your corporation. Remember, you work for the corporation now. So once you form a corporation, and if you are working there, you are an employee just like anybody else that you hire to work at that business. You are just like them when it comes to getting paid. You are an employee of your corporation, okay? And I know a lot of people form corporation and they don't put themselves on payroll because they think that, you know, they shouldn't be in payroll. They can take the money when they want. And again, for cash flow purposes, it's not a good idea to constantly just go to the bank on a daily basis and pull money out just because you have the bank card. But the proper thing to do, the legal thing to do, is put yourself on payroll. Okay, this is how you get paid from your corporation. You're an employee, you put yourself on payroll. Like the question earlier, you will get a W-2. Now, any question on that? Any question on that part right there? Let me tell you how you determine what you pay yourself. See, this is the other thing. It's like, okay, well, now how do I know what to pay myself? And you know, you obviously, if the business is making a lot of money, you can say, well, I'll take $100,000 salary, or I'll do more. But once again, you have to determine what you are worth to the company in terms of your duties and responsibilities, right? So let's say there's a question over here. With the LLC, you can't be on payroll. No. With the LLC, no, the LLC, you can't be on payroll. You're a member of the LLC, and you cannot be on payroll. You can't be an employee of the LLC, okay? So at the end of the year, you will get a K-1 showing what the profits of the business is, and then that number is what you will put on your tax return. However, you can pull money out. You can pull money out, like I said before, you know, determine what you need to survive and pull that money out maybe weekly or monthly or every 2 weeks, however you need to do that. So that's what happens there. But you can't be on payroll, all right? Good, good, good. Good question. I like these questions. You guys were having a good time. So anyway, so back to being an employee of the corporation, right? So determine what your duties and responsibility is, and you got to determine what is a fair salary for what you do. So you want to pay yourself a fair salary. First of all, you don't want to just like, okay, well, the business is making money. I'm only going to take $2,000 out of the business because I don't want to pull everything out. You know, if what you're doing is worth $5,000 a month, let's say, and the business has enough cash flow to be able to pay you a fair salary for what you're worth, and fair meaning if you went to another company and you gave them your credentials, are they going to pay you $5,000 a month, or are you worth $2,000 a month, or are you worth $10,000 a month? So whatever a fair salary for your credentials, for the work that you are performing, is what you determine your salary is. And then of course, the cash flow will determine if you can get that money or when you can get it. But this is how you determine what you get out of the business. Now, What you don't want to do, you don't want to drain the company. You don't want to drain the company of the cash flow and pay yourself, whatever it is that you feel you should. Now, if you have a stock corporation and you have stockholders, you got to answer to these people. So you can't, they may not be working in the company, but you got to answer to them. So, and they all have to agree, in your minutes. They all have to agree what your salary is going to be. That's a part of those annual minutes that you have to keep up once you have a corporation. Okay? So everybody agrees that, okay, I'm going to get paid this salary. And so that's what is determined by all of the members, the directors, the stockholders. This is what I'm going to get paid. I mean, the directors. And so that's what you pay yourself, okay? Put yourself on payroll. You're an employee of your corporation, whether it's a regular C corporation or whether it's an S corporation. You are an employee, okay? So any questions on that? Hi, Ms. Lorna. I made it. Hey, thanks for tuning in. You got any questions? Okay, what we got over here? Any questions over here? Okay. All right. So on that note, pay yourself what you deserve. If the company can afford to pay you what you deserve, that's what you take as a salary, okay? Because I will tell you why. I will tell you why in a minute, right? So what's up, Dre? We got any questions over here? How's that going? Got it the right way this time. All right. So this is the thing. Now, in a corporation, if you don't pay yourself a salary that you deserve, right? And you are pulling money out of the business. When you keep pulling money out of the business, when you keep pulling money out of your corporation, now it's not considered payroll because you just took the cash out, right? So it's not considered payroll. What that money is going to have to come to you as, and you're not going to be a contractor. You can't get a 1099 on it. It will be considered dividend distribution. And what that means is this, right? Dividend distribution means that you have taken out profits that comes to you as dividends, and that's a whole nother set of taxes that you got to pay on that money, right? So for those people who have a corporation and you figure, I'm not on payroll, I'm just going to put money out. If you don't put yourself on W-2 as an employee and you keep pulling the money out, the only way to account for that money coming to you at the end of the year is to report it as dividend distribution. And then you got to put that on your tax return, and you got to pay taxes differently on those dividend distribution, right? So you have to be careful how you take money out, but you must be an employee as well in your company, right? Because that's who you work for. That is who you work for. Okay, we have a question over here. What is the difference between the S and the C corporation? Good question. Okay. So, difference between the S and the C corporation, right? When you decided to incorporate your business, what you do is you form a corporation with, if you're in the state of California, I usually let's talk about the state of California. If you file a corporate papers to become incorporated, you have to be an incorporation, a C corporation, when you first file those documents, right? So whenever you incorporate, you are a C corporation, and that's it. If you do nothing else, you are considered a C corporation. The S corporation is an entity that you ask the federal government, okay? So it's for tax purposes. You ask the federal government to treat you as an S corporation. And what that is they behave differently for tax purposes. The C corporation pays its own taxes on the profits, right? You pay yourself salary, you pay all your expenses, whatever the profit is, the C corporation pay its taxes. In the S corporation, now you ask the federal government to treat you as an S corporation, a subchapter S corporation, and an S corporation, what it does is it's considered a pass-through entity. What that means is the profit from that business passes through to you on a form that's called a K-1. So the profit from your S corporation passes through to you in a K-1, and you pay taxes on all of the profits on your personal tax return, okay? So an S corporation don't pay taxes to the federal government because the money comes to you as an individual on a K-1 and you pay the taxes. The C corporation pays its own taxes. Okay, so does that help that clear it up for you? A lot of companies elect to be an S corporation for different reasons. And, obviously that would be something that you want to have some consultation on, whether or not you should be an S corporation or whether or not you should be a C corporation. That is something here that we can help you with here at PROBY'S Tax and Accounting. We have a small business department, guys, at PROBY'S Tax and Accounting here in Los Angeles. We have a small business division, and we can assist you with either setting up your corporation, setting up any type of entity you want, give you information on the classification and advice on which one based on your circumstances that you should be doing. So you guys can call us here at 323-290-9034, PROBY'S Tax and Accounting, or visit our website, PROBY'stax.com, and we can help you with that, okay? And there's a 15 minutes free consultation. If any of this sounds a little bit confusing, give us a call, guys. We'll be willing to answer those questions. Hi, Glenda. How are you? How are you? All right, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Okay, so that cleared up. So guys, that was a good question. What's the difference between a C corporation and S corporation? A lot of people is confused about that, and they are confused about which one they need to do. Likewise, though, back to the subject matter that we're talking about, how you get paid. You have to be on salary, on payroll with either an S corporation or a C corporation. So if you have an S corporation, you have to be on payroll as well. If you have a C corporation, you also have to be on payroll. You work for those companies, you get a W-2 at the end. The difference is the S corporation will give you a K-1 at the end of the year to add to your W-2 if there's a profit, and then you pay taxes on both those dollars. Okay? Hopefully that works for everybody out there. That makes sense. You guys can call me again. Like I said, at 323-290-9034 and get free consultation. We can clarify this a little bit more. Okay, so any other questions out there? Any other questions? Let's see what we got over here. Any question, Dre? We got this. All right. Okay, so this is good. This is good. So everybody gets this loud and clear. And if you guys are confused about any of this stuff, we can definitely take care of that for you, right? So give us a call here. Now, one of the other things that I wanted to point out in terms of paying yourself, right? In terms of paying yourself. Now, you have to, and I keep repeating this because you have to keep light of the cash flow of your business. Now, sometimes you need to keep a certain amount of cash to build the business. You need money, have a budget for marketing. And so I just want to make sure that we focus on that. We want to focus on that, so because your business will not grow if you feel the need that you have to take money out to pay yourself and a certain amount of it, and you don't have enough cash flow to really market, to really grow your business, to take it to the next level. So keep that in mind when you are paying yourself, okay? Keep that in mind when you're paying yourself. And the other part about paying yourself, right? This is serious. You will not know how your business is doing, right? You will not know how your business is doing. Do a financial statement, profit and loss. You will not know how well the business is doing if there's not any money in it for you. If you're you don't know the true net worth of your business if you're not taking out a salary. So it might look like, oh, we got a lot of money in the bank and this looks great, the business is doing fine. At the end of the day, the first question is, did you pay yourself? Well, you don't know how well the business is doing, because if you weren't working there, think on this one. If you was not working in the business, you would have had to hire someone else to do your job. Whatever your function is, somebody would have to be there and they would have had to be paid. So your business is not showing its true profit if you are not paying yourself, okay? And if it's a C corporation, think of this one. If it's a C corporation, you are liable to pay taxes at the corporate rate, and then you might be pulling out that money as dividends. You have to take a look at the tax implication when you pull the money out. So all this is going to need probably further consultation, you guys. This is what we do here at PROBY'S Tax and Accounting, and we can assist you with that stuff to make sure that you're doing it right. So it's, it sounds a little bit complex, but it really is not that complicated, because the key is to make sure that you get money out the business as you should, and based on your business structure, you take it out the proper way. And then at the end of this, and like I said, we'll talk more on it, the tax implication of how you take that money out, whether it's dividend, whether it's W-2, and the tax implications. So that's a whole nother topic. Hey, how you doing over there? Okay, so you guys have any questions? Let's see. Glenda, thanks for tuning in. Okay, appreciate you guys. So we want to talk about, hey, How you guys doing? Thanks for tuning in. I love this. This is fun. This is fun. Okay? So I wanted to touch bases on the nonprofit. The nonprofit. Because I think we got this straight on the personal, individual company, sole proprietors, S Corp, the LLC. We talked about that. We talked about the C Corporation, right? So let's talk about the nonprofit. The nonprofit. Now, a nonprofit organization, guys, a lot of people have formed a nonprofit organization, and for the most part, they're doing it because they feel the need to do some kind of community service, right? So, hi there, happy birthday. So they feel the need to do something for the community, so they get together, or amongst themselves, with themselves, and they're like, I want to do something for the community. I'm going to start a nonprofit organization for my community. Now, when you start a nonprofit organization, back to what I said, you have to file a corporation with your state, especially if you're in California, and then you elect to become a nonprofit, which means that you are tax exempt. This is the thing, you don't pay any taxes. However, nonprofit organization can pay you a salary, so you can also get paid for forming your nonprofit. Now, for the most part, no one is looking for a salary or any kind of payment initially, because you're thinking, I form a nonprofit, how do we generate money? Or we got to ask for donation. You might be filing for grants, government grants. It might be, fundraisers, whatever it is that your nonprofit says it's going to earn money from. But if you are working, thank you, Ida, thank you. So if you are working the nonprofit, right, you're administrating the nonprofit, you can be paid from legally paid from the nonprofit. You put yourself on salary. On the paperwork for that, it asks you who are the highest paid personnel or what are the salaries. It's legal for you to pay yourself from the nonprofit. And keep in mind, some of these nonprofits, depending on the organization, depending on what the purpose is, depending on how much work is put into it, you could be full-time. You could be full-time there. So you want to make sure that you're on salary, because how are you going to foot your personal expenses if you're not on salary? It is legal for you to pay yourself from the nonprofit, even if you get grants, okay? So, hi Fred, how you doing? I love the nonprofit situation. How do we get grants? Okay. All right, so I'll address that in a minute, how we get grants for the nonprofit. So yeah, but the key, most people don't think they could get paid from the nonprofit, especially if you get grants. There's money, there's funding coming through there. You're spending a lot of time, and this way you're doing it for a cause, but you have expenses. You have personal expenses, right? And if you don't pay those bills, you're not going to be able to be thinking and focusing on how you help others if you're not able to help yourself, right? So we got to help yourself, then we can help others. So you can put yourself on salary. You run a payroll just like any other company. It's operated just like any other business. You have to keep your accounting, and even more so, because when people give you money, you really got to account for it. Yeah, this is not my personal business and my personal money, and I'm paying taxes on all of this. None of that works. You have to keep proper accounting, okay? Carla, good question. You have to keep proper accounting, and then you have to pay yourself, right? And anybody else that's working. So you can get a salary from a nonprofit organization, guys. Not because you're rendering services and you are doing a community service, but there's plenty of time and you have to take care of your personal expenses. So put yourself on payroll also for a nonprofit business. And we have a question over here. Fred, hi Lane, how you doing? Thank you, Fred, thank you. All right. And Carla had a question on the nonprofit. I think it's how you get grants, right? How you get grants at a nonprofit. So for your nonprofit organization, Carla, what you got to do is, and again, all this comes back to one, proper documentation. Make sure your status is up to date. Make sure you have your tax exempt before you can apply for any grant. All this stuff have to be in place. All your paperwork have to be right. Once again, our small business division at PROBY'S Tax and Accounting can assist you with that if you have any problems with that stuff. And so what you do is you find grants, whether it's local or federal government, state government grants, Carla. You find places that are giving grants based on what your cause is for your nonprofit, because there's nonprofits for all kinds of stuff. There's educational stuff, there's recreational stuff, there's different types of different types of activities. That's what it is. There's different type of activity for the various nonprofit, right? So if you are, let's say you're doing nonprofits for teaching kids maybe music or something like that, there is organization and there is entities that will fund that kind of stuff, right? May have major corporation will give you grants. You have grants for major corporation as well. However, how you get grants, the answer to your question is by writing a great presentation package for whoever is the grantor is that you want to present. You cannot get a grant from anyone unless you have a great package put together. All of your documents got to be legal. Everything got to be current. Taxes have to be filed. The licenses got to all be in place. And then you can present a nice presentation package, what the purpose of the fund is for. You know, all of the various people who are involved in the structure. You got to tell them everything that's going to happen with that money and why you need it. Okay, so that's how you get a grant, and then you present that package to various corporation, organization, state government, city government, whoever has monies to fund these things. Because to be honest with you, I've got a lot of businesses that gets grant from the state. There are lots of money there to give to nonprofit organization, guys. And I think one of the key things is a lot of us don't know how to get it, and that's a very good question. But it goes back to making sure that your company is in good standing, making sure that your company, everything is filed, everything is legal, everything is active, and you have a great business plan, a great presentation, and a great package. And there's a lot of money sitting there. Years after years, there's money sitting there that's not used up, and so there's plenty of money to get. Hope that answer your question, Carla. Hey. Okay, so I hope that answer your question. So anybody has any question regarding that, especially the nonprofit, because you know that is so well needed, guys. If you have a great idea to help the community, you have a great idea, you can put it in place, form your nonprofit organization, and there's so many people who are not able to physically assist, but financially they will. Okay, don't you have to 501c3 for a nonprofit? Yes, right. The 501c3, that's a nonprofit status. You know, there's several others depending on what it is, whether it's religious based or, but the 501c3, yeah, that's what I was saying regarding getting your paperwork in order. You form a corporation, and then you got to apply to the federal government for a 501c3 status, which is the tax exempt status, right? And then you apply for your state, whatever state you're in, to get a status of tax exempt, because look, you're getting money for a cause. You're getting money to assist community. You're getting money to help people. You don't pay taxes on any of this, right? There's no profit to pay taxes on. So that's why you get a tax exempt status from these governmental agencies, state, federal, and you don't pay any tax. That's what the 501c3 does. Okay, so hope that answer your questions. Let's see. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. All right, so what we got on IG? You guys good over there? Okay, you guys are good? So that's a great question. So any other question regarding that? So just as a recap, guys, the topic here is about how you pay yourself, and just making sure that you guys know that it doesn't matter what type of entity you're operating, whether it's a sole proprietor, whether you're doing an LLC, whether you're doing a corporation, whether you have a nonprofit, right? You have to make sure, one, that you are financially able to function, because you won't be able to do any of these businesses. You won't be able to take them to the next level. You can't, expound on anything, of course, if your personal finances are not in order. So you have to make sure you figure out how to pay yourself, and you want to make sure that it's reasonable. You want to make sure that you're not, you're not draining the company of any of its cash flow, because you need to leave money in there so it can grow. And at the same token, you want to make sure that for tax purposes, you're doing it right. That's the key. If you are incorporated, be an employee, pay yourself a salary, and get a W-2 at the end of the year. There's no such thing as you getting a 1099 from your corporation. The only 1099 you should be getting from your corporation is a 1099 DIV, which is a dividend distribution, because you took some money out of the profits. And that's 1099 dividend distributions. That's the only 1099 you should be getting from that. All right, and or pensions and other stuff if that's involved. All right, so I think we covered all the bases today. Any other questions out there, guys? So keep in mind, okay, this segment is about how you pay yourself, but we here at PROBY'S Tax and Accounting, like I said, we can assist you with any aspect of your business wherever you are. So if you need accounting work done, now, all this business stuff, the best thing to do is make sure that you keep proper books and records. Reason being is it helps you save on your taxes, right? You're not paying taxes on monies you didn't make. You have to track your income and expenses. Your cash flow is important. The fact that you need to grow your business so you can, market it properly. You must track all of your income and your expenses, and see what your business is doing. Okay, so we have to stop driving in the dark, right? So get your accounting done. Hi Michelle, hi Dion. So get your accounting done, guys. PROBY'S Tax and Accounting here can assist you with that. And then, of course, any kind of small business problem solution. If you want to incorporate, if you have a corporation. Another thing, if you have a corporation, guys, and it is suspended for any reason, we can assist you with that. Okay, we can get you up, get it revived, get you in good standing. If it's a nonprofit, we can assist you to get your 501c3 and your state status, nonprofit status, so we can help you with all that here. So you guys give us a call, PROBY'S Tax and Accounting, 323-290-9034, or visit our website at probystax.com, and we will be able to help you there. Okay. All right, I think that covers it, you guys. I think that covers it for me. Let's see, Lourdes Smith, PROBY'S Tax and Accounting, right. 3870 Crenshaw. Yeah, I usually don't give the address, right? You go to the website, probystax.com. It's 3870 Crenshaw Boulevard, you guys. Same location for over 25 years. Crenshaw Boulevard, 3870, 3226 right now, and that's in Los Angeles, California. Okay. And so you guys go to our website, probystax.com. And if you have any taxes that you need to file, now there are several reasons. And I think I talked about the business compliance the last time around. And for you to stay in compliance, one of the things is you got to file your taxes. You got to file the taxes, right? Got to file your taxes. You don't always have to pay them all at once. You can make arrangement for that, but you got to file them so you can stay in good standing. And we can help you with that here at PROBY'S, okay? So give us a call at 323-290-9034. And I think that will do it for me today. You guys have anything else out there? And keep in mind, if you have questions after this live, please come back and put them on there, and I will go back and answer those questions, okay? And then at the same time, what I will do is, if we need to, call you guys for any reason, because I've gotten some requests, and some people have called the office and need to talk to us, and I returned some phone calls there as well. So of course, if you guys need any quick response, just call the office as opposed to putting the questions on the live, right? So go ahead and call the office, and then we can assist you there much faster. All right. So so I think that will do it today, right? Let's see, not live. All right, you guys. That's it for me, Elaine Proby here, CEO, PROBY'S Tax and Accountant, in business for over 35 years here in LA. And we will be able to assist you guys with whatever it is that you need. The whole idea here is for you to stay in business so we can stay in business, right? I want everybody to be successful. We're all in this together. So hi, Sylvia. Okay, so, that's the key. So, of course, to do that, we have to help you stay there, okay? We have to help you get in business, stay in business, and make money, which is the whole key. And we're here to do that. All right, so I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful day. Y'all stay safe. You guys stay in compliance, and then, of course, listen to instructions, and then let's do this, right? We'll be back on our feet. We'll weather the storm, and we'll see you guys on the other side. All right, have a wonderful day, and I'll be back next week with some more update. Goodbye.